Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Arsenal against Burnley. They've just kicked off. We've missed nothing in the first 2.5 minutes. It's Burnley in the yellow shirts. I'll give you the two lineups whilst Arsenal are in possession. It's JB John Stoddard here with live commentary. We're just, as I say, a couple of minutes in here. Burnley starting the day in 19th position in the Premier League table at the moment. Arsenal lying fourth. And we'll give you we'll recap the teams in just a second or two. JB here, John Stoddard in the commentary box for you this afternoon. Should be a cracker-rooney of a game for you, hopefully, to enjoy. The other minute silence, of course, in tribute to the people that have died during the wars and stuff. So let's hope as we go into the third minute, 0-0 as Tomiyasu has the ball. Let me just run through the sides. It's being played at walking pace at the moment. So it's Raya in goal for Arsenal. Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko across the back. And then it's Havertz, Jorginho and Declan Rice with Saka, Trossard and Martinelli up front. Ball play forward and James Trafford, who's in goal for Burnley, can knock that away. He's in goal today. Coutinho, Dara O'Shea, Jordan Bayer and Charlie Taylor across the back as Taylor takes possession, Bayer takes possession of the ball. There's Goodmanson, Berg, Brownhill, Kolyasho, Rodriguez and Anduni. So it's basically the same team that started against Crystal Palace last week and unfortunately lost. So so that's the thing at the moment as Burnley have to defend a little bit here at the back. As the ball is played through now, number 29, Kai Havertz has got the ball. Played back in there once more. And Arsenal at the moment just keeping possession at this precise moment. And still no goals here. And we've got the scoreboard up as well. Saka around the corner. Havertz has crossed the ball in, gets a deflection, and it's behind for an early corner to Arsenal. I'll run through the two benches as well, but you haven't missed anything of any great significance here as we bring you exclusive to JB Sports commentary of this Premier League encounter. Remember, Burnley need to win this game. Only one win all season against Luton Town, and boy, do they need one today. But it's Saka, they've got a corner to defend, and it's Saka to take this corner then into the penalty area. Saka sends it in towards the near post. The heads go up, the ball goes over the top, and I think it may have been Gabriel who got a header in from the 6-yard line, and it's gone over the top and behind for a goal kick. It went the heads, and Gabriel was first ahead of Sanderberg, was the first to show. But at the moment, it's still no goals as the goal kick is taken by Trafford. Burnley yet to keep a clean sheet this season. Burnley last one here for a Aubameyang own goal in 2020 in December. We had a partial crowd in those days because we were going through the COVID restrictions. The referee, incidentally, we haven't mentioned him yet. The referee today comes from Ashington in County Durham, Michael Oliver. Stuart Cook and Robert Dancock and Stuart Bird are the two assistants. Burnley have a free kick. Craig Pawson, the fourth official, and VAR, if required, is Michael Salisbury. Free kick to Burnley, and it's Johan Berg Gudmundsson to take it. Burnley in yellow shirts. Burnley in the yellow shirts as the ball is threaded in by Gudmundsson towards the Arsenal penalty area. Up go the heads, and it's going to fall nicely for David Raya to take possession, and he gets the ball down the ground. But again, Burnley good start defending again. They played really well in spells against Crystal Palace, but in certain games when they've lost the first goal, Burnley, they just haven't been able to recover and have really, you could say, their body language suggests to me that they're giving up. The run probability is a little bit silly at this early stage. Arsenal are predicted to win at 63%, draw 24%, Burnley something like 16%, but I think that's a little ridiculous at the start of a match, really. Anything can happen, as Jimmy Greaves once said. Here's Jordan Bale, the German, getting the ball forward here for Vincent Kompany's beleaguered side. Here go Burnley again, shot comes in. Oh, and it's turned away brilliantly by Raya. It must have been a 35 yards distance. And I think it was Abduni who got the ball here inside the Arsenal half of the field. He takes it here inside the centre circle. He runs something like 20 yards, hits this right-footed. It's a comfortable save from David Raya, but what it does do is give Burnley a corner. And Abduni here, who's got 2 goals to his name this season, could have easily had a third there. And so we're going to have this corner then. Johan Berg Gudmundsson, who's taking the set pieces, will swing this corner in. 0-0 if you've just joined us. In comes the corner towards the 6-yard box. It's headed away by Arsenal. And good defending, good covering there by Coutinho. Prepared to Connor Roberts at right back this afternoon as Trappin knocks the ball forward. And it's towards the penalty area, but it's into the arms of the Arsenal goalkeeper, David Raya. On the bench for the Gunners, incidentally, Ramsdale, Kiwal, Walters, Vieira, Elneny, Ibrahim, Nketiah, Nelson, and Sargo. For Burnley, Figueroa, the goalkeeper, no place for Ari Muric. On the bench, Connor Roberts, Decroix, Redmond, Ramsey, Cohen, Brun Larson, Obafemi, and Aubert. But here's Saka now down the right-hand side for Arsenal. They're attacking the clock end in the first half here at the Emirates Arsenal. And they've got a corner off Charlie Taylor. As we come to the 9th minute of the first half here, we'll try and get you some other scores as soon as we'll give you the other scores at half time elsewhere in the Premier League. As this corner now comes into the penalty area. 0-0 as we say here. Saka with a very strange shot of the corner which didn't come off, and then I think it was Kolyosho who hit the clearance away, and it came ricocheting off an Arsenal player and whizzes out of play for a throw-in, or for a goal kick rather, to Burnley. Mikel Arteta had a bad defeat up at Newcastle. In fact, they were robbed, I felt, at Newcastle last week. Certainly the ball, in my opinion, on the winning Newcastle goal looked as if it did drift out of play. I have to say it was a harsh decision against them in a lot of respects. Ball knocked back to David Raya in the Arsenal goal. 0-0. If you've just joined us here on JB Sports, exclusive audio commentary of this 3 o'clock game between Arsenal and Burnley at the Emirates Stadium. Ball knocked across the field by Arsenal. They tried to play from left to right flank, and it was cut out there by Charlie Taylor. Well, Arsenal red hot favourites, as you can tell by the bookmakers. They make Arsenal strong favourites. Burnley very much the outsiders in a 2-horse race today. As we had 10.5 minutes, we joined at the 2-minute mark, and I have to say before the start, when we were just having a few technical issues before coming live with you, I have to tell you that the 2-minute silence was for Remembrance Weekend, to remember all the war dead, was immaculately observed by both sets of supporters. Of course, today is Armistice Day, the 11th hour of the 11th, and of course we all had that 2-minute silence on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. That was the day when World War I, incidentally, ceased. Arsenal have possession with Zinchenko, formerly of Manchester City. Ball kept in play. Burnley win it on the far side with Gudmundsson. He kept that in rather well, I thought. He's brought his team a throw in. Vincent Kompany with the baseball cap on. Knows his side are going to be in a battle here today. They know they're going to be up against it. But football has a strange habit of throwing up surprises, and we hope this surprise could happen today. Burnley in the bottom 3, 4 points to their name. Should have been 6 with the VAR controversies at Nottingham Forest, but that's been and gone. Jay Rodriguez held the ball up very well on halfway, and then Kolyosho trying to spread the ball over the top. Rodriguez couldn't latch on to the ball down the left-hand side, and Mikel Arteta took, once it came out, tried to get Arsenal playing. Arsenal had 64% of this possession at the start of this game. Burnley, a decent amount, actually, 36%. So Burnley not doing too bad. But there's still a long way to go in this game, bar none. Arsenal 0, Burnley 0, if you've just joined us here on JB Sports. JB Sports exclusive this afternoon. With JB, John Stuttard, your match commentator. Ball over the top, looking for Trossard. Trossard turns. He's playing as the central striker, we believe, in the game today, as Rice tries to take the ball on inside the penalty area. Burnley get it out, and a corner kick has been given to Arsenal, or has it gone the other way? I think it's gone the other way, in fact. Heisman must have spotted that it came off an Arsenal player last. The goal kick, although maybe was Trossard offside there, maybe on the initial ball over the top. Play was allowed to continue for a good long time afterwards. And Rice tried to play the ball through, but yeah, it must have been possibly an offside there. But it was a goal kick, I think, in any case. But Arsenal have got possession in any case with Tomiyasu. We find Saka on the right-hand channel. Still 0-0 if you've just joined us. And Saliba. I think the Arsenal look a better balanced defence with him in the side than out of it. Arsenal 0, Burnley 0, remember. Live on JB Sports YouTube channel. And plenty. We haven't done a Burnley live for a while, so this has been an interesting start from the Clarets so far. Still, as I say, no goals yet, so it's very important that Burnley do not concede the first goal, obviously, but playing with a little bit of confidence in their boots. They did play well in times against Crystal Palace without, again, it was mistakes and a lack of cutting edge up front, which really cost them the game last week. But in a lot of performances this season, they've been far from good enough in every respect. And a lot of Burnley fans, including a number myself, have been calling for the manager's head. The performances and results just haven't been there. Tomiyasu now for Arsenal on the right-hand side. Goes back to Saliba. Saliba goes back to number 20, Jorginho, who's the captain today for Arsenal, incidentally. Rush Brownhill skippers Burnley. Quarter of an hour played on JB Sports, and it's 0-0 as the ball's crossed in, but Trafford a bit more confidently comes out for the ball. Does really well. That looks a foul there on Amdouni, and a free kick it is to Burnley. I think it was a foul by Declan Rice on Amdouni, and they've taken the free kick quickly, trying to get Koleosho away. Koleosho has it on the left-hand side, looking for support as he takes on Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu just easily shields him off the ball, mind you. The Japanese international wasn't going to be fooled by that. Goal kick to Arsenal. Burnley playing in those yellow shirts with sort of a claret trim down the right-hand side of the shirt. Arsenal, of course, need to tell you, red shirts with white sleeves and white shorts and white stockings. Burnley have got dark shorts and yellow stockings. As Tomiyasu takes possession. Burnley, the first side, unfortunately, and I say this with gritted teeth, the first side ever in Premier League history to lose all their opening 6 home matches this season. And JJ Watt in recent weeks has come out and criticised the start that Burnley have made. He's also he's sort of a minority holder of shares at the club, minority owner. Of course, Alan Pace is the outright owner, although JJ Watt does own a percentage of the club, the former NFL player. Also a big friend of Alan Pace's as well, JJ Watt. Dara O'Shea, the Irishman, signed from West Bromwich Albion. Sends it back to Jordan Baird. There was a school of thought as well in the local press in Burnley leading up to the game that Eric Ekdal might have been in contention, but he's not in the 18 today. Well, to Arsenal, middle inside their own half on their right hand side. Just illustrates what a job that Mikel Arteta has actually done this year so far. Some notable wins here against Manchester City. They are unbeaten here at the Emirates. They put Seville to the sword in midweek by winning that game quite comfortably by 2-0. Saka, from what I saw in that game, looked really, really sharp. And there's one player that Burnley really have to watch, like Hawks today. He's the top scorer incidentally with 6 goals. And then you've got Trossard with 5, and Nketiah, who's a sub-5. Odegaard, who's got 5 as well. Odegaard isn't playing today, incidentally. As Tomiyasu now plays the ball towards the far side. I thought he was going to play into the penalty area initially. Also Howard on the left-hand side. Burnley have brought numbers back. There comes the cross, and the heads go up. And it was a mistimed header by one of the 2 Arsenal players coming into the back stick. It may have been Harris, but I think Taylor might have got up and got a nick on it as well. Burnley with some defending to do then. I think it's going to be a corner to the Gunners. Like Carrot had tried to get up there, the former Chelsea player. Anyway, corner kick it is to Arsenal. Zinchenko goes short, gets a second opportunity to cross, and it was headed away by the Burnley defenders. Saka has to turn. And then the ball played in towards Havertz, who tries to touch it behind, and then Burnley get it away, but then give the ball away rather carelessly on the edge of their own penalty area. They don't want to be doing that too much. They have been rather guilty of trying to overplay it from the back too many times this season. 19 minutes gone on JB Sports. It's Arsenal 0, Burnley 0. Alternate live commentary of this Premier League fixture. Ball knocked away, ball knocked back into the penalty area, cleared away by Burnley, but Arsenal will return it with compliments towards that Burnley penalty area. As Zinchenko tries to play it in, and then Tomiyasu tries a shot which was charged away, I think, by Jordan Bayer. Here's Saka now on the near side, the right-hand side as I look. Saka tries to take on Kolyasho. Again, Burnley fighting for their lives here. And Saka with a shot in there. Great save by James Trafford. A flying save away to his left-hand side as Bukayo Saka hit the shot. And Trafford, with a lot of athleticism, turned it over the crossbar. But real dangerous moments here for the Clarets. As Arsenal turn up the power. Good left-footed shot. Good right-footed shot. He's a terrific hitter of a ball, Bukayo Saka. And it flicked it on the bar. He actually flicks it on top of the crossbar. That's actually a better save than I gave Trafford a little bit of credit for. Blow away to his right-hand side. Saka extends the corner into the 6-yard area. Burnley half-header it away. And again, the ball's going to go back into that penalty area. Saka now tosses it into the penalty area towards the back post. And thankfully, for Burnley's point of view, a bit of respite there as that ball goes out of play for a goal kick. 20 minutes gone at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 0, Burnley 0. We're just seeing a replay of that Trafford save. As I say, he had to throw himself to his right-hand side, and he got a big left hand to turn that over the top of the bar. That's an even better save than I actually initially gave him credit for. That was an excellent piece of goalkeeping. As Burnley look for their first clean sheet of the season. This is the 12th game of the season. No clean sheets, but they've conceded nearly now on 30 goals this season. We're nearly halfway through this first half. Burnley holding in there. They've been clinging on at times this afternoon so far. That there isn't a doubt. Bayer now has possession. Has to go backwards to Trafford. Trafford casually traps the ball and gets the ball away to Berg. And Berg now in possession. The man from Sheffield United, who's shown glimpses of what he's all about, but not enough to show what he really can be. As Burnley looked to break there through, I think it might have been Gunnarsson there, but the ball's been lost anyway. And here's Martinelli for Arsenal. Ducks it through the middle. Saka is onside. He's faced by Charlie Taylor, and Saka goes down, but O'Shea got the ball. O'Shea got the ball there, and the referee was quite happy. Michael Oliver, one of our better referees by reputation, deeming that Saka may have gone down a little easy. Of course, Michael Salisbury on the VAR will be checking it. And I very much doubt that anything will come from that from an Arsenal point of view. Ball played out towards Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu now for Arsenal. Takes on Kolyashu. Now Jorginho to Saliba. Again, it's patient, walking pace from Arsenal. Burnley allowing them to pass the ball around at will here. Martinelli has it on the far side. Coutinho and Goodmanson are the two defenders right in front of him. Declan Rice, who's had a terrific start, scored some crucial goals against Manchester United. Most notably, a winning goal there here at the Emirates to beat Manchester United. Arsenal unbeaten at the Emirates Stadium this season in all competitions. Tomiyasu now puts the ball inside the penalty area again. Jordan Mayer read that really well, but it's not away yet. Zinchenko trying to turn. And it's back towards Gabriel, who keeps it into play. 0-0, if you've just joined us. You can comment on the game. Please keep your comments clean. We are a family show. Arsenal 0, Burnley 0. The Clarets game live on a December afternoon here, or a November afternoon. You can tell winter's creeping in, can't you? It's bitterly cold. It's one for the thermals. Havertz has possession. Finds Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side. Hugging the right-hand side. Now he cuts in field. Takes on Taylor. Burnley again. Double tag onto Saka. And here's Zinchenko. And here's Saka. Across the face of the goal. Chance for Havertz. Blocked away. And Burnley survived yet again when Arsenal looked as if they were going to open the score in there and then. They still might. Martinelli has it on the left-hand side now. Takes on Coutinho, but Coutinho wins the ball and looks to win the second ball, which he does. And Dooley couldn't win the next ball, and now Arsenal back in possession with Martinelli. Gabriel finds Zinchenko, 10 yards inside the Burnley half. 25 minutes almost played here at the Emirates Stadium. Remarkably, it's still Arsenal 0, Burnley 0 here in the Premier League. Zinchenko uses Saliba. Give him the freedom on the Emirates just to have a look, see what options he has. They're trying to play through the lines here, Arsenal. Trossard, the signing from Brighton, come to the party this season. Rice now waits in the middle. Trossard sends that in towards Havertz. And Saka's up at the back post. Saka wins the header. Oh my goodness me! What was going on there? A foul's been given, but the header back from one of the Burnley defenders had Trafford scrambling. And if there was no foul there from Saka, God knows what might have happened there for Burnley. Well, it was Charlie Taylor's header. Saka has fouled his man, but what was Bayer doing? Well, it would have been interesting if that had been allowed to stand, and if that had crossed the line. Trafford gamely tried to keep it out. Not that it mattered in the grand scheme of things. But Arsenal here really turning up the heat here on their Lancashire opponents. 0-0. Trafford in an all-blue goalkeeping kit. Gets it out. Here's Sander Berg now for Burnley. Remember, unchanged from last week against Crystal Palace, which they dominated a lot of the game, but didn't penetrate that Palace defence. And ended up losing the game, ultimately 2-0. Shrub and Mitchell, the goal scorers, and they came from real errors at the back from from the Clarets. Bayer now finds O'Shea on halfway. Goes back to Bayer, just inside his own half. Bayer back to O'Shea. Burnley looking to start a patient attack, maybe. Goodmanson knocks the ball back. Berg now looking for options through the middle. Jay Rodriguez is an outlet. Brownhill, the captain, keeps possession. Brings O'Shea in, the former West Brom man. Finds Vitinho, one of last year's stalwarts. Ball played into the area. Rodriguez looks to flick it on. And it's an easy take for David Raya in the Arsenal goal. Saka in possession on the right-hand side. I think Saka so far has had a lot to say for himself in this opening 27 minutes we've been playing here. That's going to be a foul. Referee Oliver penalises Sanderberg for a foul on, Dara O'Shea for a foul on Leandro Trossard. Quite clear, an Arsenal free kick. Still 0-0 if you've just joined us. It's been a very, very interesting game so far. Well, 4 attempts to 1 in Arsenal's favour, but both sides have had a shot on goal and target each. This tells you everything you need to know about what's happening at the moment. 1-1 is the score if you've just joined us. It's been an interesting watch thus far. Tomiyasu has possession. Keeps the ball rolling nicely. 28 minutes gone. Martinelli now for Arsenal. That's a very good cross. Bayer should win it unchallenged. Jay Rodriguez to win the next header. But it comes back out once more. And Arsenal still wanting more out of this one for themselves. Rice now keeps it in play. Tomiyasu plays it in there towards the feet of Trossard. Good dancing feet. Played into the penalty area. Burnley deal with it. And not very far. The ball drifts out of play. And it will be an Arsenal corner. Burnley yet again under the cosh. As we tick down to the 30th minute mark here. This is going to be Arsenal's 5th corner of the game. And my good friend Cyprian Mona says, come on, Burnley. You're there. If you're listening, Cyprian, I'm here. And I've read you live as that ball comes into the penalty area and up went the heads. And I think it was Kai Havertz who got ahead on that and headed it over the top of the bar. Burnley just living on their edge a bit here. A very good afternoon to my day job work colleague Cyprian, who's listening back in Burnley. Nice to have you with us, Cyprian. 0-0 if you've just joined us. Burnley have had to survive an onslaught from this relentless Arsenal attack. Trafford with his right foot kicks towards the left-hand side of the field from a Burnley point of view. Now then, a big chance for Goodmanson. He's away. It's your back. Goodmanson. Well safe from Raya. He had to go back and a glorious opportunity goes ready for the Clarets. Raya bails out his team. And just for one fleeting moment, it was a mistake in the back from an Arsenal defender's point of view. It may have been Tomiyasu who tried to play the ball back. It was a great clearance. And Goodmanson, in fairness, was under a bit of pressure from Zinchenko, but really in that respect still, you would have expected him to at least score there. Oh my goodness, that was a big chance wasted, and they're not going to get too many of these, the Clarets, this afternoon. As Trossard and Bayer collide, and Bayer gets the free kick. In fact, it's Martinelli who fouls his man. Well, if they lose this game today, the Clarets, they will look back at that chance. Thank you very much indeed, Cyprian. He's a Manchester City supporter, that I can tell you. And he's cheering on his old player Vincent Kompany to get a result to help Manchester City out. Well, if you want to know the other results, other scores, we'll let you know at half-time. Rodriguez with a shot, and he forced Raya into a save. I'm not sure whether that was going on target or not, but Rodriguez hit it sweetly with his right foot. It was a comfortable save for David Raya from the Trafford free kick. Ken Arsenal not too convincing in defence there. Saka with a very weak clearance away, and it came to Rodriguez. His gets a deflection there, which might have been drifted it wide, to be fair. But Jay Rodriguez, who scored a memorable goal a couple of years ago at Old Trafford in a 2-0 win for Burnley against Manchester United, you may recall, back in, I think it was January 2020. Well, if he'd have done the same there, Burnley would have been in paradise. Anyway, here come the red shirts of Arsenal. Normal service from their point of view is resumed. Ball played over the top. Martinelli inside the area, but Sanderberg, good defending there by the former Sheffield United man, and not only prevents the prevents a corner rather, concedes a throw about 10 yards from the edge of the penalty area. On the left-hand side, the far side as I look to Arsenal. It's tense, it's going to be tight, but it's still 0-0. Burnley are hanging on in there, but boy, are they hanging on. Tomiyasu has it on the right-hand side for Arsenal. Plays Saka, who so far has certainly been the best of the Arsenal players, towards the back post. What a good header away from Vitinho. Gets a corner when Trossard was lurking in and behind him, and he could not take that chance. And boy, did he not take that chance. A very good clearance away by the Brazilian. But it is an Arsenal corner. I make that now 6 corners to the Gunners. Trossard's going to take the latest one from the far side. Trossard with his hand in the air will take the corner then. With his right foot, curls it into the near post. Up go the heads. It was a Burnley one that won it. Terminal should clear. Well, made a little bit of a haul to clearing it. In fact, it was Jay Rodriguez rather. Trossard knocking the ball back. It's a careless ball by him, and Burnley now with Kobayashi can break away. And in fact, they don't get the throw. I thought it was a Burnley ball, I must admit. Like Oliver saw it differently. Saliba for Arsenal, still 0-0. If you're just trying to... Here's Alexander Zinchenko, former Manchester City player, of course. Cyprian will know about... My good friend Cyprian will know a lot about him as well. Tomiyasu with a dangerous-looking cross into the penalty area. Ball comes to Zinchenko, who has a tendency to strike. He could strike a long straight shot into the penalty area. And there goes the cross, and it's out for a goal kick. And Burnley still, hookered by Cook, hanging on in there. It's been really, really tense and tight. But Burnley are still living on their nerves. Yet to keep a clean sheet this season. And all those Burnley fans down the clock end, all 2,000 to 3,000 of them, praying for a footballing miracle this afternoon. If they get it, well, it's going to be one of the upsets of the season. On paper, Arsenal should be too good for the Clarets. But it's 11 against 11, and you never know what might happen on the day. Brownhill has it on halfway. Burnley just slowing it down and just playing the game at their own speed. 10 minutes to half time, plus any injury and stoppage time here. Live on JB Sports. Live commentary. Burnley have lost possession carelessly again. It was just Brownhill rather who gave the ball away. Not very good from the Burnley captain, I have to say. Will he be punished? Trossard will try and punish, and a great save from Trafford having a leap on Marcus Salmon to flick it over the top of the crossbar. But it all came from a mistake, really, from Burnley's captain, Josh Brownhill, who carelessly gave the ball away deep inside his own half to Declan Rice. He was dawdling on the ball. It came to Havertz here. And Trossard created a bit of space for himself, hit it right-footed, or hit it left-footed rather, and up like a salmon came James Trafford. 7 Arsenal corner now. In it goes. Trafford in there, went for it, didn't get there, but Burnley got it out. But only as far as Saka. The ball laid in there into the area from Havertz. And now Goodmanson tries to get it away, but Arsenal relentless in their attacking at the moment. As Saliba fought for a moment, he was going to have a shot. Gabriel stayed forward as well. Plays it out to the right-hand side. Saka towards the edge of the area. Now then, good dancing feet from him. Ball knocked back across. Zinchenko hooked it out to the left-hand side. Still 0-0. How are Burnley surviving this? Will it be a question of time before the Gunners break through, or can Burnley hold strong at least until half-time, reevaluate the situation, and come out with a real vigour at the start of the second? The ball not back across. Here's Gabriel. Tries to take it down on the chest. Saka on the edge of the box. Plays it out, Gabriel now. Burnley trying to stay strong. There's 7, 8, 9 yellow shirts back. Here's Saka now. Tries to score one, and they took a wicked deflection, which could have gone anyway. But it's fallen for Trossard on the far side. And in fact, the linesman has got a flag up on the far side. I think it was Stuart Burt who, or rather, I think it might have been Dan Cook rather, who put the flag up on the near side. And Burnley, for the moment anyway, survive. It's been arum scarum this first 37 minutes live on JB Sports. An exclusive live audio commentary of Arsenal against Burnley. I hope you've enjoyed it at home. And a big, while we're on the subject of Cyprian, a big shout out to all my colleagues at Raven House, by the way. And if anybody is prompted to listen, please do. Eva Bex, I know you're not into football, but give this, honestly, listen to the stream. You're not going to be disappointed. 0-0. Burnley living on their nerves a little bit in defence, but they've still got that clean sheet. 38 minutes have been played. Ball back across towards Saka. On the right-hand side, he's had plenty of the ball in this opening 38 minutes or so. But again, Brownhill across for Burnley. It's been a tough old examination here at the Emirates for the Clarets. They're passing it at the moment with flying colours so far, and I'm touching every bit of wood in the commentary box. But still, Tomiyasu breaks forward. Saka now plays it into Abbots. The ball has been lost again, and now away goes Kobayashi, the Italian. Ball's out of play. They will get a throw, Burnley, and get a bit of upfield territory. Much better for the Burnley skipper, Josh Brownhill. He's actually the official vice captain at the club, but the actual club captain, Jack Cork, is not in the start, not on the bench, not amongst the substitutes. And neither is Arvo Muric, which is a very big surprise, considering he's one of the best goalkeepers in terms of clean sheets kept last season. You'd have thought he'd have kept his place. But at the moment, Trafford is keeping him at bay. How? I don't know, and why, but he is keeping him at bay. We're coming up to the final 5 minutes. No foul inside the area. Burnley again making a haul to clearing it, and they're very lucky to get a throw-in off Trossard, in my opinion, because I tell you something, that was very, very poor defending, and that could have easily come across there. Just being too naive when it matters the most. But they're getting away with it at the moment. Maybe it's their day to ride a bit of luck, maybe. But still, a long, long way to go yet in this game. We've only played, nearly 40 minutes. Still 5 minutes of this first half, and then another 45, plus injury and stoppage time to negotiate before they could even think about taking anything away from North London this afternoon. But the frustrating Arsenal. If there's any positives to take, they've been a little bit more organised in defence. They've had a couple of good opportunities as well. Jolenberg Gunnarsson, if he'd have kept his head, well, who knows? But Burnley, the more they frustrate the Gunners, the more likely they could catch them on the counter. They have to believe that. And here they come forward again with Amdouni. 2 goals to his name this season. The top scorer, incidentally, is Foster with 3. But as I say, he's not playing at the moment because of mental illness at the moment. And that's really sad to see Lyle Foster going through all that stuff, really, and horrible stuff at the moment. We wish him and his family all the very best, and we hope to see him back on a football field very, very soon as he's mentally well prepared to be so. But anyway, here comes Kobayashi now, the Italian. Luca Kobayashi takes on Tomiyasu inside the penalty area. Burnley now having to looking to have a sortie forward in the final 5 minutes of this first half. Bayer now has it. Deep inside Arsenal territory. Bayer looks for Kobayashi. He's shown some good touches on the ball. Showed some good skill as well. Jay Rodriguez, the Burnley man, the hometown boy, trying to thread the ball through. Goes down, but it was never a free kick. And again, that unfortunately for Burnley, that attack peters out. I must say, may have looked a free kick there. Referee Oliver thought maybe Kobayashi made a little bit more than it needed to be. Saka has it on the near side. He's certainly been Arsenal's man in the match so far in his first 43 minutes that we've been underway here. And it's all nervous tension for any Burnley fan in the land, and I know myself one, but one has to stay impartial in these situations. Here's Tomiyasu for Arsenal, who played some really good stuff without so far penetrating the Clarets defence. Saka gets possession. Into the penalty area goes. Here's Kai Havertz. This could be dangerous. Saka again turns. Uses Trossard. Trossard with the cross into the penalty area. Rodriguez helping out at the back. And out comes James Trafford lightning fast to take the ball inside his 6-yard area and take a little bit of heat out of the situation. If we now approach the final 2 minutes of normal time at the end of the first half. And look at that. Touches in opposition box. Burnley 4 touches in the outside the opposition box. Arsenal a whopping 25. Which shows you really in a nutshell what you need to know who's been the dominant force in this first half. But still it remains 0-0. As we approach the half-time interval, we're about, 90 seconds in injury stoppage time. That will be down to Craig Pawson, our 4th official down below us this afternoon on the touchline. Here's Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli running at his men. Tangles with Goodmanson, but still has the ball on the left-hand side. 10 yards from the edge of the Burnley box. And here he is again. Takes on his man. He's absolutely whipped for Coutinho here. This could be dangerous for Burnley. Goodmanson, he put Goodmanson almost on the seat of his pants there as the cross came back in. Saka there too. Taylor to meet him. We're inside the final minute of normal time. Still Burnley hanging on in there at 0-0. It's been a tough first half for them so far, but they're so far passing it with flying colours. Shot comes in from Gabriel. It was a left-footed attempt. It was charged away. Now Tomiyasu. Arsenal asking all the questions. 30 seconds or so of the first period of normal time to play. Burnley, if they can get a half-time, that would be a good base to a good foundation to really go possibly forward in the second half. Rice has it now deep inside Burnley territory. Ball knocked back to Zinchenko. Out to the far side here. Martinelli takes on his man. In fact, with 2 men. Goodmanson and Coutinho. Ball into the penalty area. Header one. Danger here. He's got in. Oh, has it? The ball in the back of the net. I think the whistle may have gone here. The goal's been given. The goal's been given. And Arsenal are in front. But it was an absolute comedy goal. And Burnley just couldn't see it out to half-time. The Arsenal goal scorer, I can't tell who it is, by the way, is injured. And we wish him all the best because it was a brave header. But I'd like to see a replay of that just to work out who scored it. Might have been Trossard, you know. Let's have a look. It's Martinelli who comes in here. There's the cross from Zinchenko, and indeed it is Leandro Trossard. He collides with the post, but you've got to ask questions of the goalkeeping here from Trafford. It's absolutely appalling. And Burnley's defence, yet again, absolutely appalling. How many more times do they have to commit defensive suicide. We were supposed to play 1 minute, incidentally. That's obviously not going to be the case now, but Leandro Trossard is scoring that goal, and it was a brave header. Let's take nothing away from him there for that. And I'm quite happy to report, from a neutral point of view, as Arsenal fans actually get round to celebrating that goal. It's taken them a while to cotton on to the fact that they have scored here. Trossard is very seriously hurt. We wish him all the best, incidentally, but it was a brave header at the back post. But really cowardice defending again from the Clarets. Not for the first time this season. Just really slack marking from O'Shea and Bayer. And Vincent Kompany so near and yet so far to getting a half time at 0-0. And they commit the most defensive of suicides. It's absolutely disgraceful. I don't think Trossard is going to be able to continue. That's the word we're getting. They're communicating with the walkie-talkies here, the Arsenal physios here. Mikel Arteta may be forced into a first-half substitution. But Trossard's last contribution is to score a goal. What a way to go. He's holding his, looks like his right arm to me. As the Arsenal physios help him away. But it was a very brave header, but really rank defending from the Clarets. It has to be said. And now all eyes will turn to what's going on in terms of Luton and Sheffield United and Bournemouth, how they're getting on at this moment in time. And Trossard getting a good round of applause, and rightly so. And he's able to continue, well, at least till half time, and then obviously Arteta will give it the 15 minutes and reevaluate the situation. But that's a bitter pill for Burnley to swallow. And those two missed chances from Rodriguez and Goodmanson before it, as I thought and as I feared, could come back to haunt the Clarets, and indeed it has. One of the Arsenal fans off for some half-time refreshment. I'm going to take 5 minutes out and then come back with all the half-time scores for you around England and a bit around the Premier League and the Championship and the Scottish Premier Division. As Burnley come charging forward, we're still into stoppage time. We're way past that 1 minute, but there was at least 2 or 3 minutes for the injury. You had to be careful. Coutinho now. Can Burnley get themselves an equaliser? They've had 2, 3 good chances. Goodmanson trying to flick it with the back of his heel and straight in the arms of David Raya, who saved really at 0-0 from Goodmanson. I get the funny feeling was the real turning point there. And I think the referee has blown for half-time. So Leandro Trossard, 6th goal of the season for him, incidentally. Has a very brave 6th goal of the season, it has to be said, has given Arsenal the advantage. And on the balance of play, I don't think anyone could quarrel or argue with that. But really rank defending from the 2 centre-backs and James Trafford have contributed to Burnley's downfall. And if Goodmanson had took that chance at 0-0 halfway through the first half, how different a score it might have been from a Claret's point of view. We're going to take a 5-minute break here at the Emirates with a half-time score. Arsenal 1, Burnley 0. We'll be back in 5 minutes' time. Welcome back to the Emirates. We've got some half times to bring you in England and Scotland. In England and Scotland for you here. In the early game, Wolverhampton Wanderers beat Tottenham Hotspur by 2-1. Brendan Johnson had given Tottenham the lead on 3 minutes, but then 2 goals in stoppage time by Sarabia and Lamina have given Wolves a late dramatic victory. That result, incidentally, for Wolves moves them up to 12th place, and they go to 15 points. That result. Arsenal 1, Burnley 0, as you know, is the halftime score in our live match. Crystal Palace 1, Everton 1 is the score at Selhurst Park. Mikolenko in the first minute scoring for Everton, but then Ise 4 minutes later in the 5th minute with a penalty levelling the count for Crystal Palace. 1-1 in that one at half-time. Manchester United 0, Luton 0 is a current half-time score at Old Trafford. Luton holding on in there. Bournemouth Newcastle 7:30 kickoff. In the Scottish Premiership, Dundee 2, St Mirren 0. Hibernian 1, Kilmarnock 0. Motherwell 0, Hearts 1, and St Johnstone 0, Ross County 0. In the Championship, early kickoff, Sunderland 3, Birmingham 1, Bellingham, Sanderson, and Anucci from Sunderland. Majewski with a reply for Wayne Rooney's men to make it 3-1. Elsewhere, half times in the other games. Cardiff 2, Norwich 1 at the Cardiff City Stadium. Coventry 0, Stoke 0. Hull 0, Huddersfield 0. Ipswich 2, Swansea 1. Leeds 2, Plymouth 0. Middlesbrough 0, Leicester 0. QPR 0, Bristol City 0. Burnley are just in the tunnel now as I talk to you. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Millwall 2. Southampton 1, West Brom 0. Watford 2, Rotherham 0. In League 1, Peterborough 5, Cambridge 0. That's a result. Bolton, Blackpool 0-0, Carlisle 0, Bristol Rovers 1, Cheltenham 1, Wigan 1, Derby 1, Barnsley 0, Fleetwood 3, Exeter 0, Lake Orient 0, Oxford 2, Lincoln 0, Port Vale 1, Northampton Burton 0-0, Portsmouth 1, Charlton 0, Shrewsbury 1, Reading 2, Wickham 0, Stevenage 1. In League 2, Quick Leagues, Wimbledon 1, Doncaster 0, Bradford Barrow 1-1, Colchester Sutton goalless, Crawley 1, Accrington 1, Crewe and Notts County goalless, Grimsby 0, Waltham 1, MK Dons, Newport 0-0, Salford 1, Mansfield 2, Swindon 1, Stockport 0, Tranmere 1, Forest Green Rovers 0, Walsall Harrogate 0-0, and Wrexham Gillingham is at 1-0 to Wrexham. We'll bring you a full classified check at the end of play at the end of this game this afternoon. But now back live with you on JB Sports. We are bringing you live second half coverage of this important Premier League game between Arsenal and Burnley. Burnley trailing by a goal to 0. And the crowd now will start to get raucous in a second now, as we will begin to start the second half then. Arsenal are going to kick off, incidentally, in the second half. I apologise for some noise in the background, but we are back underway. Arsenal get us away in this second half. 1-0 down, but still a long way to go yet. Burnley conceding a late goal on half time for Leandro Trossard. A very brave header. He's come back out for the second half as Coliaccio comes forward, and Coliaccio's got round the goalkeeper, but he's run out of pitch. In fact, there was a deflection on it, and Burnley have made a positive start to this second half and have won themselves a corner kick. So a really good start there. Good challenge, actually, by Saliba, who's very good at making the goal-saving tackles, incidentally. Let's just readjust the score for you, because we didn't actually do that at half-time. So the score's readjusted. So Arsenal leading 1-0 as the ball's threaded in. Easy take for the goalkeeper there, David Raya, former Brentford goalkeeper. But you've got an opportunity to vote for your man of the match. We'll vote for a man of the match later. So the JB MLTM is back, and hopefully we'll cover most of the Burnley games from now to the end of the season here on JB Sports as an exclusive on Saturday afternoons. And of course, you'll hear me as well on the TC Hub throughout the season. Any 3 o'clock Burnley games, there'll be a JB. Alrighty, don't tell about Burnley again. There'll be a JB Sport exclusive. Zinchenko coming forward for Arsenal in the red and white, attacking the goal to my left-hand side. Arsenal attacking that goal to our left, as I said. Burnley, the clock end towards their supporters in the second half. Here's Rice for the Claret, for the Gunners rather. Trossard just leisurely knocks the ball back. It's been an interesting start to the game. Trossard, or to the second half rather. Zinchenko, fourth shape to try and cross the ball, but lost the ball, but didn't cross the ball in the end. But really has been a tough going. It's been tough going for the Clarets, but they've got themselves a free kick now midway inside their own half, which will release a little bit of respite for them. Real disappointment for Burnley, really, to get to half-time conceding that goal with practically the last kick of the first half, really. But it was a brave header from Leandro Trossard. You can't take anything away from him for that. Trafford to take the free kick. Burnley 1-0 down at the moment. Wilton holding Manchester United at the moment. Well headed back towards the goalkeeper Raya. Remember, Wolves beat Tottenham Hotspur 2-1. And Everton and Palace were at 1-1. As I say, we'll give you a full classified rundown at around about 5 o'clock this afternoon. The conclusion of Burnley against Arsenal. And we'll get the JB verdict before we leave you at around about 20 past 5 this evening. As Trossard takes possession on the left-hand side. Plays the ball in there to Trossard, ball back across and then it's hooked away. And out of play of Brownhill for a corner. It was Martinelli who rather took the ball initially, then threaded into Trossard. No fight there against Leandro Trossard. As the ball was crossed back. Zinchenko now. Back to Jorginho and Zinchenko. Just to remind you, when we get a break in play, I'll recap you the two teams. In case you missed it at the start. Trossard again. Rather, a good cross from Martinelli in behind. Up go the heads and come out to Kai Havertz on the far side. Burnley in a spot of bother here. Declan Rice has it for Arsenal. Burnley with 2-4-6-8 back. In it goes and out of play for a Burnley goal kick. Right, let's give you a recap of the two teams, shall we? Starting with Arsenal. David Raya, the goalkeeper. Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko across the back. Kai Havertz, Jorginho, the captain, and Declan Rice, the three-man midfield. And then it's Bukayo Saka, Leandro Trossard, who scored, and Gabriel Martinelli up top for the Gunners this afternoon. On the bench, Ramsdale, Kiwal, Walters, Vieira, Almeni, Ibrahim, Nketiah, Nelson, and Sako. For Burnley, they line up with Trafford in goal for them. Back four, Vitinho, O'Shea, Bayer, and Taylor. Gummerton, Berg, Brownhill, and Koliasho, who's looked pretty bright on the ball, I have to say. And Jay Rodriguez and Zeki and Moody to complete the 11. On the bench for the Clarets, Bigaroo, the goalkeeper, Connor Roberts, Decroix, Redmond, Ramsey, Cohen, Grun Larson, Obafemi, and Odobert. And Arsenal inside the penalty area again, with Leandro Trossard, the goal scorer. Looks as if he's shaking that arm injury off pretty well. Burnley 1-0 down, remember, in the game. They have to get something from you feel, because the more these games fall by without a victory or any sort of a point, the more difficult it will get later on in the season. The more out of play for a Burnley throw, rather, and a cheap one at that. But if you want my personal verdict on that goal, really from a Burnley point of view, really rank defended, and it's not the first time they've really switched off when it's mattered the most at key moments during a football game. But then again, Burnley have got so much to give really going forward. We are a little bit behind with the stream. So let's just kick with the stream as the ball is not forward, and it's going to be James Trafford who takes possession for the Clarets. 1-0 down, remember, in this game. Trafford taking an age to get the ball away. He needs to get the ball away quickly. I know we've only played 52 minutes, but you don't want to be wasting time at a moment like this. As Jay Rodriguez takes possession midway inside his own half. Now O'Shea darts forward. Burnley needs something now. In whatever time remains, to even take a point would be a good result if it was to be that way. But it's still 1-0 to the Arsenal. As Vitinho keeps it in on the near side. Goes back to O'Shea. Patient football again from the Clarets. And it goes again to Goodmanson. Back to O'Shea. Goodmanson again on the right. Arsenal have probably brought all 11 men behind the ball at this point. O'Shea, Robert Koyasu now. They drag the lock. Italia tries to take on Tomiyasu. He's beaten him. Koyasu inside the area. Rodriguez tries to lay it off. And then the shot back at defensive. And the ball equalised. It's Josh Brownhill. Won't you believe this? It's a turn-off for the box job here. It's Burnley 1, Arsenal 1, and the Emirates, and Josh Brownhill with a deflected shot from outside the penalty area has just leveled it up for the Clarets. It's a real turn-off for the box job here. It's Arsenal 1, it's Burnley 1, and what a turnaround here. And it was all down to the work of Luca Kogliosho on the left-hand side. And I have to say, it was good patient build-up here. Kogliosho goes past Tomiyasu here. Beats him for pace. There's no foul there, quite clearly. Rodriguez couldn't dig it out from under his feet. Now Brano with his left foot gets a wicked deflection off an Arsenal defender. And for the life of me, I couldn't tell who the defender was involved. It deflects off. Maybe we'll have a 10 and go, oh, it comes off Gabriel, I think, and in. But the value of this little Italian, he's such a super player on the ball. He's got good control, and there's the deflection. He clearly hits Gabriel and goes in. Well, I can't. Well, it's going to VAR, and I can't see for the life of me. If they disallow this for a foul, then it will be a disgrace. It's a quite clear and obvious goal for me. They can't disallow this. They can't disallow this. If Michael Salisbury calls Michael over to the near side, oh, there'll be uproar. There will be uproar. Has he given the goal? I think he has. I think he has. It has to be a goal. 10 minutes of playing in the second half, and the Spring stand, it's 1-1, and it is standing. It's going to stand. The goal stands. Burnley got a bit of luck and a bit of fortune they probably have not had this season, but they've fought hard, and and for their second half endeavours in the first 10 minutes of the second half, they actually deserve it. So Burnley are back in the game, and Arsenal have only themselves to blame really for not getting the ball away. Not strong enough defending, in my opinion. Now then, here's Amdouni, and Burnley have suddenly got their tails up all of a sudden. They couldn't go and make another one, could they? Maybe there was something that was put in the half-time cup of tea from Vincent Kompany. Certainly perked the lads up, Burnley lads up at the start of the second half, because they have come out a team transformed by the sounds of it. O'Shea. Oh, he showed almost Vitinho down the river. Now this could be trouble. Bright is in behind, and Trossard And Martinelli now, Vitinho courteously trying to get back, and Trafford saves well on the near post. Burnley nearly costing themselves another goal there. Defensive frailties again, almost haunting the Clarets there. Sanderberg very weak in the midfield, but Martinelli got through here. And for my money, should be going across the goalkeeper there with his right foot. Went too far near the near post, although he did leave at least 5 inches of gap open at the near post, which for a goalkeeper you get beat at the near post. It's a tragedy. Trossard's corner into the penalty area. It's gone in! And Saliba scored for Arsenal. What a turn up. And Burnley are only themselves to blame. Another prime example of horrendous defending. And Burnley, who got themselves right back in it, have contrived to gift Arsenal a simple-headed goal. 57 minutes gone, and Burnley, whose joy has been short-lived right at once. The corner comes in, it's a crowd scene, and Trafford is weak for me. That's appalling goalkeeping. I'm just checking to see if there's a foul. I don't think there was. I really don't think there was. I think that's poor from Trafford. And maybe at this point, Trafford at this point should be dropped here at this stage. Because mistakes like that are going to cost teams very, very crucial points. And I'm afraid to say James Trafford has not covered himself in glory on either of the goals. That is rank goalkeeping of any, it doesn't matter what standard of football you play. That piece of goalkeeping there was suspect, it was appalling, and it was pathetic. Arsenal now lead 2-1. And Burnley, I'm sorry to say, have only themselves to blame. Fabio Vieira now comes on for the Gunners, who their supporters quite happily are celebrating away in front of the camera. The TV camera down on the near side, but Burnley, having got themselves back into it, have given away a stupid goal, and it's James Trafford again. It's the manner and the comedic timing of the goals that they're conceding that's really done for them at the moment. And maybe it's time for Vincent Kompany to wake up and spell the next cafe and come to the decision at the end of it. And I have to be honest here, that James Trafford is not good enough. Meanwhile, there's an off-the-ball clash with Martinelli down, holding his space by the looks of it. He's been pushed over there, hasn't he? Gummison couldn't get out the way of that. So I think Michael Over decision was going to stand. There's not going to be any VAR interference. And I'm afraid James Trafford has to take the blame. There is no excuse for what he did there. If you're going to command your penalty area, you've got to command it with a bit more strength and strongest. He's a good shot stopper, but he's not got a good command of the box as Ara or Muric has. And I'm afraid to say, Trafford again has cost Burnley a stupid goal. He was partly to blame on the first Arsenal goal, and he's 100% to blame on the second Burnley goal. That I've got no doubts about. Here's Martinelli, who's done really well for himself, really, at the moment. Zinchenko. We've played an hour. Arsenal lead 2-1. Maybe on the statistics and the balance of play, it's probably just about right. But it's so tough on Burnley because the first 20 minutes of this second half, first 15 minutes of the second half, they've really given it a good go, haven't they? But you can't afford to make mistakes. And you're down the bottom, and Trafford is making too many of them for my liking. But Vincent Kompany is such a stubborn so-and-so at the moment that he's finding it so hard to drop him when he's quite clearly making mistakes. I don't know what games he watches week out when he's managing the team, but he really needs to know that that this goalkeeper is unacceptable. But anyway, 2-1 to the 2-1 to Arsenal. They played really well today, Arsenal. As the ball is chipped forward again. Trossard takes it. Robert Martinelli, takes it. Burnley got plenty of numbers back, but they need to really get a hold of the ball here and get a little bit of respite here and try and get a little bit of possession and try and get territory down the field, because at the moment, Arsenal have really pinned them back here. Every Burnley player, including Jay Rodriguez, is behind the ball at the moment, and it's been played exclusively inside the Burnley half. Saliba, who got the second goal. Gabriel, who's deflected, put Burnley level, albeit for 2 short, happy minutes. Martinelli keeping possession nicely on the left-hand side. Trossard, who got the first goal, plays a 1-2. Vitinho gets across, does really well, has to concede the corner. That was good right-back play. Note there to Connor Roberts. But it's an Arsenal corner. They lead 2-1. Next goal, if it comes for either side, will be crucial. As Craig Bellamy and Vincent Kompany talk what they're going to do. They have options on the bench from Larson over Femi. So they could pressure things up a little bit there. Ramsey's on the bench. Redmond is a good winger as well. So they've got plenty of strong options on the bench, barely attack-wise. But it's the defender that's let them down at the moment. Trossard with the corner then, right-footed into the area. And again, Trafford was nowhere. And this time he got away with it. Same mistake being made by the Burnley keeper. Ball into the area. That time it was a bit more easier for him. But Trafford at the moment is showing that he's not worthy of even an England under 21 place with this prime display of ranked goalkeeping. It's not been good enough by half, that's for sure. As we go, as Arsenal now lead by 2-1. That's it. And now, with Sanderberg, a free kick to be given. So it's Arsenal 2, Burnley 1. We've just adjusted the scoreline just to reflect that goal scored by William Saliba. And it's a free kick to Burnley. Trafford with it. Not the best free kick I've seen Trafford put in. With Jordan Bayer has to go use his goalkeeper. It's a simple basis of goalkeeper. I used to be a goalkeeper who's Sunday League level. If you drop clangers like that, you weren't allowed to forget it. Burnley, I've just got to keep their wits about them. They do have options to bring off the bench. Let's not forget that. But having said that, you've got the likes of Eddie Nketiah on the Arsenal point of view. Elneny, Vieira, who's just come on. So you look at it and think, well, Arsenal could easily go out of sight. And even with their starting lineup, the attacking intent that Arsenal have got, the attacking threat that Arsenal have got, it's just second to none. But when you make basic mistakes, they're always going to cash in and punish you. Then Kolyasho, who's had a superb game so far. Kolyasho's shot well wide under the left-hand post and they're behind for a goal kick. But Kolyasho again showing how good a player he's going to be in the future. He's a good little winger who can cut in and cause several problems as Arsenal now. Well, it has been a tough examination of Arsenal's Burnley's credentials today. It was always going to be that way when you looked at it logically, and so it has proved, I'm afraid. And I don't enjoy watching Burnley lose, and it's not an enjoyable experience as a staunch claret. But unfortunately, with 66 minutes gone, I think you have to give the honours at the moment, the way things are going so far as the game is concerned. You've got to give the honours to Arsenal. 67 minutes gone on JB Sports. Saturday afternoon football here from the Emirates. Arsenal 2, Burnley 1. Trossard Saliba for Arsenal. A deflected goal from Josh Brownhill, bringing Burnley level for all of 2 minutes. And it's quite easy for Arsenal at the moment with their finger on the pulse here. This is Martinelli, number 11. Cuts inside. He's had a good match, Martinelli. He's played really, really well. Zinchenko now keeps it into play. And here's Trossard around the corner. Here's Martinelli. Good challenge that. It was Jordan Bayer who got back there, and Sander Bergwijn got back there and denied him that extra bit of room. 22 minutes plus injury and stoppage time to go. Arsenal 2, Burnley 1. Arsenal now probably double figures in terms of corners. I've lost count of how many corners Arsenal have had throughout the game. But Trafford now, I'll be watching him like a hawk to see how good he is now from this cross. Trossard in towards the 6-yard area. The ball nearly broke to Vieira there. Trossard now has it, the number 19 for Arsenal. Trossard's cross towards the far post. Headed away by Burnley. Saka wins the next ball, headed it back into the penalty area to where Gabriel is lurking with him with real intent. Burnley have just got to stay in there, bide their time, and possibly, if they can keep it at 2-1 for until the last sort of, 10 minutes or so, then actually have a chance of going for it, because you can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be at least 4 or 5 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this. So it's a case of biding your time for between minutes 70 and 80, and then go for the jugular in the last 10 minutes of normal time. 69% to 31% on possession in the second half. Arsenal in actual fact had 69% and 68% rolling to 32 in the whole of the first half. So nothing's changed in terms of domination of the ball. The scoreline has changed a great deal in the second half. It was 1-0 as we started the second half, then it became 1-1. And then all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, it became 2-1. And that's how we are at the moment. That's a foul by Brownhill. And Fabio Vieira, free kick to Arsenal. 10 yards from the halfway line here. And through for Mikel Arteta's thoughts here as we go inside that last 20 minutes here. I do apologise if we hear it stuff in the background. Fabio Vieira just taking an edge to get up to his feet here. The Arsenal fans, well, it's not been a convincing Arsenal display by any means, but when you're up at the top, you win. Sometimes you've got to win games of football, whether you're at the top or the bottom. You've got to win them ugly. And I look at it. I'm a Burnley fan, and I'm not going to beat about the bush here, but not at any point this season have I actually seen Burnley try to win a game of football ugly at all this season. And that's sad. Because sometimes in Premier League football, it's all well and good sticking to your footballing principles, but sometimes you have to adapt a bit, and you've got to show some fight, and you've got to show some willing. And as Neil Warnock once said, you've got to show guts and desire and to die to get 3 points. And that's what Burnley really need to do more of now in this second half. They trail by 2-1 if you've just joined us. JB Sports, an exclusive commentary. Comments Match Live. And a foul there by Jay Rodriguez on Leandro Trossard. Gives Arsenal a free kick. Tomiyasu infield now to Jorginho. Ball up to cross here to Declan Rice. Martinelli takes the possession. Martinelli cuts inside. Boy there from Zinchenko. One for Trafford. What's he done there, Trafford? He should have caught that. He was under no great pressure whatsoever. That's just inviting more problems for the Clarets there. What was Trafford playing at? Martinelli now for the Gunners. They're looking to kill the game off. Martinelli's cross had headed behind for a corner, but that was all caused by a very piece of suspect goalkeeper for James Trafford. Why did he need to punch when he was under no great pressure? I will never know. Arsenal's 12th corner. So, can they find another way to win this game now, Arsenal? Burnley have got to stay there, certainly if they can. 2-1 is the scoreline. 17 minutes plus injury and stoppage time remain. Trossard's corner into the mix. And again, Trafford was all over the place and the ball has hit the crossbar. And then the ball has been knocked back in. And again, weak goalkeeping from James Trafford. The shot came back in from Alexander Zinchenko. It found the right-hand corner. It's disaster upon disaster for Burnley. Another 3 unnecessary goals conceded. And Arsenal now, surely barring accidents, are going to romp away with all 3 points. It's Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. And I'm afraid to say this has been an absolute horrible display from the Clarets defensively. Again, it was always going to be that way. The defence was always going to cost us in the end. And again, weak goalkeeper from James Trafford. It was all over the place. The ball hit the bar. Zinchenko then. Trafford was nowhere close to reacting quickly enough. And by the time he said himself, it was far too late. Poor goalkeeping in the true sense of the word. And poor defending as well from the Clarets. Good left-footed shot though from Zinchenko. I'll take nothing away from him there. It's a great effort. Good goal from the Ukrainian. But Burnley, again, the beneficials of their own downfall. So it's Arsenal 3 now, Burnley 1. And I think when you look at it logically, you can't really moan at the scoreline. Burnley have shot themselves in the foot when they haven't got themselves a foothold into this game. For Josh Brownhill, they could try to give away 2 sloppy goals in the second half. And with a quarter of an hour left to play, surely there's no way back for the Clarets. They're certainly now not in a position where they can score 3 times unanswered and get 3 points down. Vincent Kompany has to look at James Trafford and think, is he actually good enough? And they've been struggling for goals, really. Noel, Foster, and, well, he should have been making that change as soon as we went 2-1 down. And unfortunately, his timing of substitutions, yet again, you've got to call into question. Gudmundsson again for the Clarets. He's had a decent game, actually, Gudmundsson. If he takes that chance at 0-0, well, how different would the scoreline have been? That, I'm afraid, we will never know. Ball down the middle, into no man's land, easy for David Raya. Two substitutions being prepared by Vincent Kompany, but I think it's too late now. It's too late to save anything. They've waited until 76 minutes to even make a change, and even then they're 2 goals down in arrears. It's just pointless for Vincent Kompany. It should be, as soon as they go 2-1 down, that's when they should have been making the changes. I know it's easy for me as a commentator to say all these things, but I can spot it. And it's really sad to see Burnley. It's like that defence is like a cancer that needs to be cut out. They need to cut out these stupid basic mistakes. Tactically, they're not prepared to win a game of football ugly enough for me. And it is a real worry going forward. 1 victory in 12 isn't good enough. Even if they won at Forest, 2 defeats, 2 wins in 12 wouldn't be good enough either. Coutinho Sastacello for conceding a corner. And people will turn around to me and say, well, we've played all the top teams. We've played another top team in Arsenal that they're gunning for the Championship. But Burnley were in the game. The bottom line was Burnley were in the game. And they have contrived to shoot themselves in the foot and give Arsenal 3 ridiculous goals. But there's no doubt about it. Arsenal have deserved it. Don't forget, we'll be staying on the air till about 5:20 this evening. Debriefing, going through the full classifiers as the corner comes in, punched away by Trafford. Bit late now to be decisive when you're 3-1 tied 3-1 down, and you've cost them for all 3 goals. You've been much to blame on all 3 goals. Trossard keeps the ball in play. And then the ball knocked out. It's been a chasing and experience for every claret in the land. Trossard inside here. Trossard shoots, deflected, takes a big deflection, which favours James Trafford quite easily. And you can get in touch on the comment section. Of course, please keep your comments clean. We've had Cyprian comment, and we've absolutely enjoyed having him as part of the coverage this afternoon. You're welcome to do the same in the comment section. Please keep your comments clean. We're still a family show. Also, going to get a free kick here, or it's going to be the other way. In fact, Burnley are going to get the decision. 12 minutes left. Burnley needing snookers and 2 goals to even get a point out of this game now. And it's really been caused by the poor defence, the back 5, James Trafford especially. So we're going to see Zeki and Dooney withdrawn. Looks like Brun Larson is going to come on, the man who scored that great goal at Luton Town, which got them their first victory of the season. Seems like a long time ago. So Amdouni and Kolyasho off. Aaron Ramsey, son of the brother of Jacob Ramsey of Aston Villa. And Brun Larson. Well, on, but is it too little, too late? I have to say, Kolyasho looks very unfortunate to be substituted. I felt he has offered so much to the game from a Burnley point of view. Hard to say who would be a Clarence man of the match at this stage. But at the moment, I would say Saka would be a shoo-in for an all-round man of the match award. We will choose 2 man of the match awards, a Clarence man of the match and an Arsenal man of the match later on in the 10 minutes to go. So 10 minutes left. What have Burnley got left in the tank? They've got 2 pairs of fresh legs on in Brun Larson and Ramsey. What difference will that make? Saka is going to come off. No goal for him today. Reece Nelson's going to take his place, and we're also going to see Eddie Nketiah wearing Thierry Henry's old shirt number 14. He's coming off as well. I think Trossard's the other player coming off, and they're getting a good reception from a capacity crowd here at the Emirates Stadium, who have not seen the vintage. It's not been a vintage Arsenal performance by any stretch of the imagination, but the fact is they're winning the game of football, and they'll do anything that takes to get the victory and get those 3 points and keep them here at the Emirates. That's the difference. And I'm hoping that the referee and the fourth official are going to have time on for the amount of time it's taken Trossard and Saka to get off the field. Eddie Nketiah and Reece Nelson, both very, very good players, come through the set you've set up here at Arsenal. And Arsenal really proving again why they are title contenders. Yes, it's not been a pretty performance from them as a team performance, but when they've needed to, they cashed in on mistakes. As for Burnley, they play well in spots, but again, it's that defensive underbelly that's really costing them dear. Another free ship today. And it's just, the season is turning into a nightmare for Burnley and their supporters. And there's going to be, we'll read a few comments out of social media from Burnley fans as well, because I think it has to be said. So do stay with us. We'll be having a couple of minutes break, and then we'll be doing the full classified, and then the JB debrief, and now then, Brownhill has gone down in a heat. Burnley. Oh, it's a red card. It's a red card for one of the Arsenal players. Michael Oliver has shown a red card. I think it's Vieira who's been sent off. I think it's Vieira who's gone. Michael Oliver has given a straight red card here to Fabio Vieira. It looks like of Arsenal. It was on Josh Brownhill. Nelson initially clashes with Taylor. Oh, that's a naughty one. Studs are showing. Doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2 footed. That's a red card offence. Michael Oliver, I think, was probably right to send the lad off. And it has been confirmed that Fabio Vieira has gone. Josh Brownhill, I'm pleased to say, is up on his feet okay. But Arsenal now will play the remaining 7 minutes plus time added on with 10 men. Michael Oliver tells Fabio Vieira, who came on as a second half substitute incidentally, to make his way off the field. He's taking his royal time doing it. And I feel that, and he should be any time on for this. It was a stupid tackle. There's no doubt about it. It was a red card. Obviously, he doesn't agree, but I don't think there was much doubt about that. Wasn't a particularly good challenge. Look at it 2 or 3 times on the action, on the television action replay. So Arsenal 3-1 ahead, but you could say making it a little bit difficult for themselves from their point of view, even though they are winning quite comfortably here. But Burnley now with a numerical advantage, and they'll see an opportunity here to at least try and see if they can get a second quickly and then maybe force a grandstand finish here. They need something to hang their hat on now going into the next. It's going to be a long winter, whatever happens here today. Even if they were to pull off the miracle and get 2 goals down. Obafemi now, he's going to come on and make his Premier League debut for the Clarets. Been out for a long time. Been out all season through injury until now. Just Brownhill gives Jay Rodriguez the captain's armband. Comes off now. So a midfielder's been a sacrifice for an attacker. They have to go for it now, Burnley. They've got less than just over 5.25 minutes to play. Plus there might be a fair chunk of injury and stoppage time as well. So I'm going to get it 5 minutes. So possibly 5 minutes. So if they can get one here in the next sort of 3 or 4 minutes, they still have a chance of taking something away from the Emirates. But they need to help themselves here. Rod Larson wins a corner of Tommy Arsu. Good problem for the Arsenal right back. One back for Burnley now will make the finish interesting. Johan Berg-Gudmundsson to take the corner. Burnley spared. Arsenal have had double. They've had 10 more corners. 33 the corner count. And it goes towards O'Shea and it's on the roof of the net. Would have taken a lot to beat the goalkeeper and then obviously getting on target, of course. Got well underneath it, Dara O'Shea. So we've got 4 minutes of the second half of normal time to go. Burnley again are going to make another change. They're going through the substitutions quicker than you can blink. Odin Birch is going to come on. Now, why wasn't he not Vincent Company? If he'd have had a bit more wits about him, he should have been doing this at 2-1 down rather than 3-1 down. Anyway, Rayo with the kick from Arsenal, leading 3-1 as we go into the final 4 minutes of the normal time here. Arsenal have really made it difficult for themselves in a lot of ways. Looking at it from a logical point of view, as Dara O'Shea comes ambling forward. Ball across here to Taylor. Out to the far side, given away, and it's out of play. And we now come into the closing stages of this Premier League game. So off comes number 22, Coutinho, And Odeberg comes on, and a defender being sacrificed for another winger, attacking winger. They have to go for it, Burnley now. If they end up losing 4 or 5-1, so be it. They have to go for it. Also, I've got a player down on the floor here. Presumably it's cramp, and it's Gabriel Martinelli. He has run himself daft, to be quite honest with you. Also now I'm trying to wind down the clock. Of course, all this will be added on. So I'd say I'd go maybe 5 or 6 minutes. Martinelli's taken at least a minute here over this perceived bit of cramp. And also here, taking a drinks break towards the end of the game. Now, Vincent Company here will be astute enough to know at this point that there may be a good chunk of stoppage time. So if they can get a goal, say, in the next sort of 4 or 5 minutes, next 2 or 3 minutes, if they get that opportunity, then I think they've still got ample time to save this. But at this point, they should be doing more to really help themselves. Well, this was a very poor goal for Burnley to concede. Saka with the assist there. This was the equaliser. Kolyosho pulled marks there. Rodriguez could have finished it off, but Brownell certainly did. Deflected off the defender, which was Gabriel. This goal down to James Trafford. Very weak goalkeeper there. Should be commanding his area a lot better. And then he was all over the place with the third. Burnley just made a complete halt to get in the way, and Zinchenko with his left foot made absolutely certain that police dismisses as well. Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. Martinelli has gone off incidentally, and on in his place comes QR, one of the youngsters. It's Burnley now look to try and find a way back into this. O'Shea, 25-30 yards from goal. Uses Brun Larson, who scored a cracker, remember, against Luton Town a few weeks ago in the rearranged game at Kenilworth Road. O'Shea has possession. Back to Brun Larson. Zinchenko winding up the crowd and trying to get the Arsenal fans to cheer them over the line. Last minute of normal time here. Then all eyes on Michael Salisbury, Craig Pawson, the fourth official. I would say 6 or 7 minutes. My guess is as good as yours at home. Ball into no man's land from Arsenal. Bear can pick the ball up. Burnley have to throw caution to the winds now. We're 5 seconds away from the 90 minute, and we'll find out how much longer that Craig Pawson will want to add on. We've played the 90. Gudmundsson has possession. We'll let you know what stoppage time there will be added on at the end. With Larson will run at his man 600 minutes. Not surprised. Gudmundsson now. One opportunity. If Burnley can get 1 or 2 opportunities and can take both of them, then a point is still not beyond them. They have to believe. Taylor now. This needs to be a good cross. It's a good cross. Rodriguez was lurking, but Arsenal got bodies in the way, and it's a Burnley throw, a level with a 6-yard box of the Clarets. Burnley trail 3-1. We're into 30 seconds of the 6th. The first 30 seconds of the 6th have elapsed. Burnley have possession. They've had quite a big long spell with the ball for a long time here. Gudmundsson out to the far side. And here's Odeberg. Odeberg now will run at Tomiyasu. Needs to be humped into the penalty area now. Towards the back post, but Larson was lurking. And in fact, the linesman has put his flag up for an offside against Brun Larson. And a free kick to Arsenal. Well. It's been tough now. Jay Rodriguez getting involved there. And Phelan's running very high. Gabriel as well. Michael Oliver's just... No, they're checking a VAR decision. Now, they're checking handball here. Presumably, Jay Rodriguez. Now, there's a shove there. Is it a possible penalty for Burnley? Looks like a shove to me on Jay Rodriguez. I think that's a penalty. VAR, been checking it time and time again. They're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. Michael Oliver is saying play on, and I can't agree with that. I think that's a nailed-on penalty. Yet again, VAR rearing its ugly head once more. Looks a clear flush on Rodriguez, and I can hardly blame the Burnley striker for that. Burnley should have had a penalty for me. Raya gives it a big long bomb upfield. But I'm having looked at those replays again. Michael Salisbury's still a different game to me, because in my humble opinion, that should have been a clear Burnley penalty. But hey, the big boys always get the decisions, little old Burnley never do. Here's Brun Larson now for the Clarets, trailing 3-1. Should have had a penalty given for them. O'Shea to Gudmundsson. They need to get that ball into the box. That's poor from Gudmundsson straight to Zinchenko. That's not good enough, and that's going to be a free kick, and surely a yellow card for Gudmundsson. His poor pass led to that stupid piece of stupidity. Three of the 6 minutes played, and I don't think Burnley are going to come back from this, I'm afraid. Another chasing in afternoon at the office for everybody in a claret and blue persuasion. This has not been good enough by half. And how many more times do we have to say it week after week after week? But we'll be getting the JB view at the end of the programme after we've gone through all the results and the league tables and the classifieds and stuff. Just been a fiasco after another. And it's well worth staying around for afterwards, I tell you. Burnley are still going for it. They're going to try and get a second back if they can. But it has been a chasing in experience for anybody in a claret and blue persuasion this afternoon, it has to be said. It's been bitterly disappointing on all levels. It's not been an enjoyable watch. Sometimes you've got even when you're commentating on your favourites, on your favourite team, you sometimes have to watch through hands and all that sort of stuff. But Burnley had actually got themselves back in the hunt. We're going to have one more minute of the 5 now, of the 6. But oh dear, it's been a chasing and experience. But here goes Sander Berg, a former Sheffield United man. Berg running forward, out to the far side now. Oddbed, can he engineer some genius now for Burnley in the 9 seconds? Berg, at least Burnley are having a go. Brun Larson into the area, pull back across, still might break, Adama shoots, and he deflects away, and he just will not go in for Burnley. The whistle has gone for a free kick to Arsenal. What brave defended by them, by the way. And that maybe has been the difference between the two teams. Arsenal prepared to put bodies on the line, whereas people like James Trafford and Jordan Mayer and Dara O'Shea have failed miserably. May have lost sight perhaps there from Brun Larson, but watch this defending. Look at that. That is brave defending. Whoever it was inside that 6-yard area, he really put his body on the line there. And if Burnley has shown any percentage of that, look at that. That is brave. And amongst all those flying feet and goodness knows what else. We've played 96 minutes here at the Emirates Stadium. We're way past the 6-minute mark. I would assume once the injury's back up and running, Michael Over, I would assume, will blow for the end of the game. And they're chasing it afternoon. We're not finished yet, by the way. Once soon as the whistle's gone, we'll go at just after 5 o'clock for the full classifieds, and then it's a case of the JB verdict to finish the programme off. As we now come to the end now. If it's an head injury, they've got to take as long as they possibly can with this. And they are doing. And it has to be said that Burnley fans are leaving in their drawers, and I'm not surprised at this point. And I will be reading some of the comments out on social media. It's been a chasing experience for everybody, but we really sincerely hope the defender involved here is okay. I think first and foremost here, heading for Vincent Company Sports, he's prowling the touchline like a praying mantis. I don't know why he's bothering, quite frankly. His team defensively, again, and from an ex-centre-back, it's been truly pathetic. And even he has to realise now that Burnley are not going to learn by chucking goals like they've chucked away so easily. It was Jorginho who threw himself in the way. And there's blood to prove it on the back of his head there. And if Burnley has shown that sort of character this afternoon, they may have been going away from here with a point. But they're weak, they're toothless. The goalkeeper's been a shambles today. Burnley's keeper's been an absolute shambles. And then he's going to get a few seconds of play time at the end. But it's all purely academic now. But if Burnley have shown a lot more of that spirit, then who knows, they might have been going away with 1 point there, I'd say all three, but they didn't show that. And that's the harsh reality and the truth. But we're now 6 into the 99th minute. I can't think for me that Michael Over will play any further as he kicks away. All eyes on the referee now. Just blow the whistle, referee. Put us all out of our misery. What a terrible afternoon it has been in London. More capital punishment for the Clarets, but they're still going. Sunderland out to the far side. Charlie Taylor handles forward. Now then, Alderman, he looks like it's coming on, but the substitutions have gone far too late. Oberferry tries his luck, and it's gone wide. He's scuffed the shot wide, and I think that should be that in terms of the final chance for the Clarets this afternoon. Still trying to get Elneny on the field. The referee is not being drawn to it. I'm not even certain Elneny's going to get a game here. I think the referee just wants to blow the end of this game now as Raya kicks down the field. And there, duly goes the full-time whistle. So Elneny won't get on the field. But Arsenal, his team Arsenal, finished with 10 men, but finished with a 3-1 victory, which was really gifted to them by rank, appalling Clarets defending. Burnley got themselves 1-0 down through poor defending. Trossard with a very brave goal to set Arsenal on their way. Burnley got level through Josh Brownhill, and he had a good spell where everything was going well, and it looked as if they were in the ascendancy, the Clarets. But then a piece of goalkeeping madness from Jay Trafford, not strong enough for me on the corner, lets the Labour in for an easy goal. And then Zinchenko, after more Burnley defended, after Burnley, Arsenal hit the bar in that same build-up. And therein lies the proof of the pudding. It's been another chasing in day at the office. We're just going to take a minute or two to catch our breath here at the Emirates as the crowd leave here. It's finished here. Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to the Emirates Stadium, where everybody is now just left after Arsenal had beaten Burnley by 3-1. Terrible day for Burnley again. 3 unnecessary goals conceded, but we'll get to the JB view at the end of the programme. Anyway, let's take a check on the full classified results from England and Scotland. Starting, of course, with the Premier League. Wolves 2, Tottenham 1. Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. Crystal Palace 2, Everton 3. Manchester United 1, Luton 0. And Bournemouth against Newcastle, that's at 5:30 kickoff. Into the Championship. Sunderland 3, Birmingham 1. Cardiff City 2, Norwich City 3. Coventry 0, Stoke 0. Hull 1, Huddersfield 0. Ipswich 3, Swansea 2. That's still going on, incidentally, into stoppage time in that one. Ipswich leading, of course, 3-2. Leeds 2, Plymouth 1. Middlesbrough 1, Leicester 0. QPR 0, Bristol City 0. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Millwall 4. Southampton 2, West Bromwich Albion 1. And Watford 5, Rotherham 0. Sky Bet League 1, Peterborough United 5, Cambridge 0. Bolton 1, Blackpool 0. Carlisle 0, Bristol Rovers 1. Cheltenham 1, Wigan 1. Derby 3, Barnsley 0. Fleetwood 3, Exeter 0. Leyton Orient 2, Oxford United 3. Lincoln City 1, Port Vale 1. Northampton 2, Burton 0. Portsmouth 2, Charlton 2. Shrewsbury 3, Reading 2. Wickham 0, Stevenage 1 is still going on. It's a late kickoff. They've still about 10 minutes plus injury time to play. Stevenage leading that game by 1-0. League 2, Wimbledon 2, Doncaster 0. Bradford 1, Barrow 2. Colchester 1, Sutton United 1. Crawley 3, Accrington 1. Crewe against Notts County. That's a late result. Crewe winning 1-0 into the 13th minute of stoppage time there. Grimsby 3, Morecambe 2. Newport 0, NK Dons 0. Salford 1, Mansfield 2. Swindon 2, Stockport 4. Tranmere 3, Forest Green Rovers 0. Walsall 0, Harrogate 1. And Wrexham 2, Gillingham 0. Into the National League, AFC Fylde 0, York 2. Aldershot 1, Kidderminster 0. Altrincham 2, Southend 0. Boreham Wood against Bromley. That's a late result, with the Boreham Woods game being level with the teams level there at 1-1. Chesterfield 4, Barnet 2. Gateshead 6, Dorking 0. Hartlepool 2, Ebbsfleet 2. Maidenhead 1, Halifax 0. Oldham 1, Eastleigh 1. Oxford City 3, Woking 2. Wealdstone 3, Rochdale 2. And Dagenham and Redbridge against Surrey on Moors. That's a late kickoff at 5:30. Scottish Premiership, Dundee 4, St Mirren 0. Hibernian 1, Kilmarnock 0. Motherwell 1, Hearts 2. And St Johnstone 1, Ross County 0. Scottish Championship, Airdrie 2, Arbroath 0. Inverness Caledonian Thistle 3, Ayr United 1. Partick Thistle 2, Greenock Morton 1. Queen's Park 2, Raith Rovers 3. Scottish League 1, Alloa 1, Queen of the South 0. Falkirk 2, Edinburgh City 1. Hamilton Academicals 5, Stirling 0. Kilty Hearts 0, Cove Rangers 1. Montrose 1, and an Athletic 1. Scottish League 2, East Fife 0, Dumbarton 1. Elgin 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 0. Fulfar 1, Clyde 1. Peterhead 3, Stranraer 2. And Stenhousemuir 3, the Spartans 2. And finally, the Danske Bank Premiership, Ballymena 0, Glenarvan 1. Cliftonville 1, Newry City 0. Dungannon Swiss 2, Carrick Rangers 3. And Logo 1, the Crusaders 2. The game between Linfield and Larne is a 5:30 kickoff. Okay, that's the results sorted out. Let's look at the tables as they stand. Manchester City didn't play today. They play, of course, Chelsea at Stamford Bridge tomorrow. But Arsenal now go level on points, but with an inferior goal difference. Manchester City have scored 4 more goals than Arsenal have, but Arsenal level on points, but having played a game more. Then Tottenham, who could have gone top today, lost the chance beaten by Wolves. So they drop to third. Liverpool now in fourth position. Villa now in fifth. They play tomorrow. Manchester United up to 6 above Newcastle, having beaten Luton at this moment in time. At the wrong end of the table, it's looking rather grim at the moment for the Luton, Bournemouth, who haven't played yet today, Burnley and Sheffield United. Sheffield United and Burnley both have equal dibs in terms of results, but Sheffield United haven't played yet. They play tomorrow, but if they get a result, Burnley could end up being rock bottom of the table, and that would be a complete disaster. Let's look at the Championship as well, and have a look at their table as well. Leicester top from Ipswich. They've got, then there's something like an 8-point gap to Leeds in third place. Southampton, Preston, and Sunderland complete the playoff picture. Sunderland just edging out West Brom on goal difference. At the bottom of the table, looking weak for the likes of Rotherham, QPR, and Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday, 1 win in 16, without doubt, the worst English team going at the moment. Birmingham, who had such a good start of the season, inexplicably second, John Eustace, are now down in 18th, having dropped like a stone from around about 6th place, but it's still very, very congested in that middle table area. We'll just have a quick look at the Scottish Premiership as well before we wrap up. Let's look at the Scottish Premiership. Hang on. So look at the Scottish Premiership. It's actually worse. Celtic with 32 points. They're clear. Rangers have played a game less. They have 24 points. And Mirren and Hearts complete the top 4. Then Dundee and Kilmarnock in 5th and 6th place on 17 and 16 points. Then come Aberdeen with 15. Aberdeen down there in 8th place with 12. But it's, as I say, it's still early days yet. You'd expect the likes of Aberdeen to climb up the table a bit further. Livingston and Ross County have 10 points each, which and Johnson just above them, and Motherwell not far away too. But the problem for Motherwell is they've played 3 games more than the likes of Aberdeen have, and 1 more than St Johnstone, Ross County, and Livingston. So problems afoot for Motherwell. Okay, that's about it. But before we go, let's take a look at the JB Burnley view. Before we leave you this evening, it has been a chasing experience. There's no doubt about it. Burnley, as I say, it has been a chasing experience. There's no doubt about it as we now prepare for the final thought on the Clarets today. So here we go. The final thought. Well, for a large period, I thought we played really well. I thought attack-wise, we looked at a really decent side. But it's the same old Achilles heel every single time, week upon week after week after week. Rank bad defending, rank bad goalkeeping. And it's not good enough. Tactically, company is found wanting in certain areas of the field. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, we're playing out a team, Arsenal, that are a very, very good side. Don't get me wrong, but it's not good enough. It is not good enough by half. And I want Burnley to do well. I want Burnley to compete. And for a while, for at least 75, 80 minutes today, they competed certainly up the top end of the field. We conceded a stupid goal, a comical goal scored by Trossard. It's a brave header from Trossard. Take nothing away from Leandro Trossard. It's a great goal. That puts Arsenal in front. But at 0-0, we have great chances. Gudmundsson, clean through, should score. Jay Rodriguez, half chance. Well saved. You can't knock J-Rod for that. But the goal we conceded, Bale was nowhere. O'Shea was nowhere. Trafford was absolutely nowhere to be seen. He went on walkabouts. Bonkers goalkeeping. Second half, first 10 minutes, we played better. We seemed to get back into the game. Deflected goal from Brown gets us back to 1-1. And you're thinking, right, if we hang on here, get to the last 20 minutes, maybe go for it. But then what do we go and do? Trafford almost concedes with his legs. Gives away a corner. And from the corner is found wanting. You don't get out-jumped by a defender. As a goalkeeper, you have to be strong. And James Trafford is clearly not that strong. That was terrible. Absolutely unacceptable by half. Not good enough from Trafford. The third goal, completely all over the place. Also hit the ball against the bar in the scramble. It comes to Zinchenko, but where was Trafford to set himself? Nowhere. Another ranked goal conceded. It is not good enough. And it boggles the mind that Burnley Football Club can turn around and say, well, we're trying and all that. The defence are clearly not trying. They do not seem interested. They do not care one jot. It is not good enough. And Burnley Football, and at the moment, I think Vincent Kompany's job is hanging. I'm going to lay my cards on the chest here. Having watched them and commentated on them today as an observer, I'm a Burnley fan and I love them till the day I die. But today, that defending on all three Arsenal goals, and it could have been a lot more, by the way, for Arsenal. That defending was just absolutely unacceptable. It has got to be said. It's unacceptable. It is unforgivable. And showing out if people are not convinced, but if people are, I didn't want to be in the company app again, but I've been forced. I feel as if I've got to think that way because he is doing nothing. There's no wanting to chicken out the fight. The difference between the sides. You look at Jorginho at the end of the game. He put his body on the line. Even though Arsenal had won the game anyway, they were 3-1 up. Even down to 10 men, they were 3-1 up. They knew they were going to get 3 points. And as Burnley went to attack looking for a consolation goal, Jorginho put his body on the line, kept the ball up, got an head injury for his troubles. But you know what? If Burnley had shown that sort of commitment, that sort of quality from the likes of Trafford, from the likes of Bayer, from the likes of O'Shea, and from the likes of Charlie Taylor, perhaps, then we might have had a point. I'm not saying we would have had all three tonight, but a point away from home against Arsenal would have been a crucial point. It would have been a good point. But Burnley were weak. They were toothless in defence. They were spineless at certain parts when they should have scored. Jay Rodriguez, Johan Gudmundsson at 0-0 had glorious chances and didn't take them. It's just certain aspects of Burnley's performance and yet again let them down, and quite simply put, it's not good enough. Well, there we are. That's the end. It's been another frustrating afternoon for Burnley. Beaten 3-1. What now for Vincent Kompany? From all of us here at the Emirates. Take care. Good night.